Welcome to the Bean Pod. This is your place for all things stocks and crypto. From beginner tips to expert picks. Use this as fuel for your investing journey, because when you're in the know, your money will grow. All views expressed by speakers on the Bean Pod are solely their opinions. You should not treat any opinion expressed on the Bean Pod as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a specific strategy, but only as an expression of their opinion. This podcast is for informational purposes only.
Welcome to the Bean Pod. This is Shane, aka the Jolly Green Investor.
And this is Josh, the Nifty Investor.
So Bitcoin just crashed as we speak now through to 39,000.
An absolute flash crash.
So today we're going to discuss everything that's happening in the market right now and what we think is going to happen next.
Yeah. It caught me off guard. I'm not going to lie. I was having lunch with a buddy. And then all of a sudden I saw a little Twitter notification pop up on my phone. And it's like panic at the disco. Like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I have certain notifications set up on my crypto apps that, you know, whenever Bitcoin or Ethereum goes down a certain percent in a short time frame, then only then do I get a notification. And that's when you know you get that notification, things are bad.
Not good.
Because there's been no big spike, so I'm never getting the positive ones. I'm just getting the negative ones. And today I got another one, so we have to discuss this.
Yeah. I think it was you. You sent me a little, I just saw this little red. I'm like, oh no. But he's like, what's wrong, man? Bitcoin's crashing.
It's bad. All right, so what's going on right now? It seems like there's a firestorm of negative activity, negative sentiment in the markets, not only in the stock market, but also in the crypto market. So start from the top. The stock markets are in bad shape right now. There's fear of Russia invading Ukraine, which is the latest FUD that is, sending the market down.
Right. What's that invasion all about?
So there's been,
It's an energy crisis.
It has to do with a number of things. There's the energy crisis. There's uprising. There's, Russian expats that are in the areas of, was it Kazakhstan and Ukraine? And Biden came out, I think, yesterday and said he fully expects Russia to amass along the Ukrainian border and potentially invade those certain areas of Ukraine within the near future. So that sends everyone into a panic.
Yeah. I mean, that's the last thing I think the planet needs right now is a war, after dealing with Omicron and, green energy and all these things that are occurring. The stock market is not doing well. It seems like it's been, on a dramatic decline for a while.
Definitely.
The thing I caught was the Russian crypto ban.
Right. So this is new today, right?
This is brand new.
Yep.
It just came out. It really reminds me of when China is talking about their crypto ban and what it did to the market back. And I think, it happened a few times throughout the year. I think it was back in March was the significant one. And now I'm seeing proposed Russian crypto ban may push miners west out to Canada, the US. So we're going to be relying on now only 2 countries to be doing all this mining. What other country is going to be able to handle the mining for Bitcoin?
Yeah, so Russia was always a huge proponent of crypto mining and Bitcoin mining because their energy costs are super low, and they've got these massive facilities out in Siberia, out in regional Russia, right? These guys are, a huge chunk of Bitcoin mining. So if they're banning it now, just like you said, it leaves a lot of questions in the Bitcoin market. Where do things go? So we've got potential war, another powerhouse country banning Bitcoin and crypto. What else do we have?
That scares me because when we're only down to a couple countries that are going to handle the mining, who else is going to do that? Is it going to be down? We're going to rely on Mexico to do it or something? Or
yeah, I mean,
El Salvador.
You don't want to rely on too few parties, right? Because then what if something happens in one of those countries? Then you're basically you're fucked.
Yeah. So I mean that's not good. Combine that with I think what the Federal Reserve discussed today is that was the fact that they believe there could be a safe digital asset, but I don't think it's Bitcoin that they're referring to.
Right. So like they're going to create their own.
Yeah. A CBDC would be the safest digital asset for the economy. So that it's almost like there was a no policy.
Right.
When people were hoping for, there would have been some sort of positive sentiment moving forward with crypto and with Bitcoin, just due to all the mass adoption that we're seeing currently. And it didn't seem as though we got that today.
Right. So on top of potential war and Russia banning Bitcoin, you have potential government I don't know if you want to call it interference or non-acceptance or, government regulation. It's a lot of mystery of what's going on right now. And I think no one's really certain what the future holds. They never are, but there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt to the definition of it in the market right now.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Fed. The Fed has also been tapering. So that's been one of the main reasons why the stock market has been going down. So the Fed has been, pumping money, printing money into the market ever since the start of the pandemic. But now Powell, the chairman of the Fed, said they're going to be starting to taper, which means they're taking money out of the market. So this is bad for the stock market. This is bad for crypto. This is bad for all markets because they're all correlated. Mm-hmm. So after propping the market up with this magic money printer for nearly 2 years now, the time is potentially coming where they're taking money out of the market. So it's another thing that's pushing the markets down.
Yep. Well, we have the rising inflation rates.
Right.
So there is, Bitcoin has always been seen as a hedge against inflation. It's a deflationary asset. There's only 21 million ever created. They were printing money. When you put, it comes down to supply and demand. You have this, now you have all this money circulating. You have people trying to obtain products and items at the different stores, but there's no supply. So it's driving all the prices up, right? Right. So what are they going to have to do? What are they going to have to do to bring the inflation rate back down to make it affordable for everybody? I'm thinking that they're going to have to raise rates on mortgages, interest rates.
Yeah.
Right. Because if, let's say, so many people entered the market this year, right? The housing boom was incredible. Everybody entered the market, but they did it really. Everybody's stretching themselves thin. You have a paramedic, a firefighter. People are making $80,000, but they're buying these $1.3 million homes. If we raise the interest rates, 0.25% on a mortgage, those people are now owe an extra, $25,000 a year on their property. So what that's going to do is it's going to bring down the spending, and which is going to remove some of the demand, which should help with the supply to eventually bring down the inflation.
Right.
So that almost it goes counterintuitive to what Bitcoin is all about.
The fixed supply,
right?
All that kind of
stuff.
stuff.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes sense. And on the same point about inflation, we've obviously seen a massive rise in prices, inflation, as you said, everything from gas to food to rental cars. I was just down in Mexico and the rental car was 3 times the price that I thought it was going to be because of inflation. Everything is just insane prices. And Bitcoin is traditionally seen as an inflation hedge, but with the volatility, especially lately, I think, a lot of people are questioning the validity of that statement. Gold is also seen as a traditional inflation hedge, and it's much less volatile than Bitcoin. And then when you look at what industry insiders are saying about inflation, they're saying the worst is yet to come. Mm-hmm. People who run these big food distribution companies and shipping companies, they're saying you haven't seen nothing yet.
Right.
So that kind of just alludes to the fact that later on this year in 2022, inflation could get wild and out of control.
Yeah.
Which
is bad for everybody, but put yourself in the position of you own a property, you own land, and now there's talks of potential interest rates spiking. Interest rates on a mortgage is so low right now. It's like 1%. If they raise it to 1.25% and you owe an extra $30K, $40K per year, are you really going to be putting your money in a speculative asset like Bitcoin, especially when it's this volatile? When you need your money now to potentially cover what is about to come, which is A, the inflation, or B, the potential interest rate hikes on your mortgage?
For sure.
So
it's a tricky one. But, okay, the picture we just painted is one of gloom and doom, right? So we basically just said the markets are tanking, the world is crashing, everything is crumbling, everything that the foundation has been built on is fake and it's lies and it's all, the reckoning is coming. However, I think when you look back in the history of the markets and you look at everything, there's always a sentiment like this in the air. People are always calling for the crash. There's always interest rates hikes. There's always inflation. There's always something that people paint the picture of fear.
Of course.
Because media makes money off of fear. So they're always picking things, and whether they're true or not, or half-truths or complete lies or whatever, there's always fear in the air. And you can go back and look at the market, look at this chart for the S&P 500 over the last 50 years, and every major dip is a buy opportunity.
Yeah.
The markets go up over time, and especially with crypto and Bitcoin, we know this is a very new market, just born, 13 years old or whatever. This is early days.
Mm-hmm.
So are you going to flash crash panic and sell all your Bitcoin because it crashed to 39,000 today?
Yeah.
Or do you think we're going to look back on this moment, January 2022, if we're going to be podcasting in 6 months and 8 months, are we going to look back on this and say, wow, that was an opportunity?
Mm-hmm.
And even if Bitcoin crashes down to 35, maybe to 30, whatever, where do you think it's going to be in 6 to 12 months? These are opportunities. So, but it's the hardest thing to put your emotions aside when everything is negative and buy the dip, right?
Yeah.
Because it just keeps dipping.
How do you feel right now? Like if you're being true to yourself and honest, like how do you feel right now with, this flash crash that just occurred?
I think we're going to look back.
But how do you feel? Like, do you feel a bit more fear?
Honestly,
You know what I mean? Or do you have the ability to remove emotions?
I think I'm getting better at the ability to remove emotions, because the money that I have invested in crypto, I'm not, I don't need that for my day-to-day living.
Right.
So as long as I can provide myself with, my daily expenses, my monthly expenses, that's fine. The rest is a long-term investment portfolio.
Right.
So I'm not going to go run to my portfolio and sell all my stuff in hopes that I can buy back in 20% lower. That's just, in my early days of investing, I might have done that.
Mm-hmm.
But now I can just chill with it, understand that where that portfolio and those assets and those companies are going to be in 5 to 10 years, whatever, it's much, much more valuable than it is now. So just chill with it. If anything, and we preach this all the time, just dollar cost average into your top positions. And I've been doing that. Bitcoin's been ranging from 42 to 39 over the last, 2 weeks? Mm-hmm. And I've been steadily buying more. I know that it's possible that it will go lower, but I'm still comfortable buying around the 40K level, because I think that this year we're going to see much higher levels.
Right. So you and I interact with a lot of people online, through our Twitter accounts. We get to see comments in our TikTok and our Instagram videos. I didn't notice. So last time when Bitcoin had that little bit of a sell-off, it just seemed like there was still too much positive sentiment in the air. You still have the crypto bulls out there. No, this is fine. It's a little dip. Now, when I look out there, and I kind of like this. I think this is the fear we need.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing those same crypto bulls pumping out their charts saying, no, we're in this descending wedge and, we're about to break this. And I'm not seeing that right now. Last time I saw a little bit of a drawback, I saw bulls out still.
Right.
Now I'm like, this is the fear that we need. And this is the fear I want to buy into.
Yep.
Call me a crypto maximalist, but I do see it as the way of the future. With everything that's occurring in the space right now with the adoption, it's not going anywhere. Blockchain technology is here to stay, whether you like it or not. So now that I'm seeing true fear, this is giving me more hope, if that makes sense.
100%. Well, what's the saying? It's always darkest before the dawn.
Yeah.
You need that peak fear in the market where the sentiment is Bitcoin is going to zero. Mm-hmm. And it's like, all right, sell everything. It's gone. Yeah. That is where the market bottoms out. And I think you're right. We haven't seen that. And, I do a lot of obviously research and stuff on Twitter. Those young analysts, Will Clemente and Dylan LeClaire, great guys if you want to go follow them on Twitter. They're both of the same camp where there's just a lot of leverage and stuff that's still in the market that needs to get wiped out. Mm-hmm. And I even saw one of them post yesterday, or maybe it was even earlier today, saying, we haven't hit the bottom yet, because if you look at the open interest and the leverage in the market, it's still significant. That needs to get wiped out before the bottom is in, and then you can finally get back to a steady uptrend.
Right.
So I think it kind of lines up with what you're saying. We haven't hit that bottom out, where that greed and fear index is at like zero.
Yeah, we need a zero. It sounds like we need a zero to pop its little head out.
We need a zero. We need a gigantic red candle. Mm-hmm. It might wick down to, who knows, 35, 30 for an hour. Like, it just could happen. Then wipes all the leverage out. And then when everyone thinks it's over, that is the best buy opportunity. I'm not trying to time the market.
I hear. Yeah, we do. That's the only thing we preach. It's like, man, you can be the best trader in the world. You can't perfectly time this every time. No. Everybody who was this technical trader would have millions upon millions of dollars. All of them.
Yeah.
So
I even saw a certain technical analyst of crypto today boasting. He had a calendar about bullish, bearish. He predicted the month, and today he had bullish. And because there was the spike earlier today, he posted on Twitter saying, look, I've been on a super hot run. January 20th bullish, I told you. And then 3 hours later, Nuke. So look, technical analysis is great, but it only goes so far because as we talked about at the start of this show, there's so much sentiment and news and world events that really have a huge effect on the markets. So technical analysis is great. It's a good tool to have in your bag. But with Bitcoin, especially at the moment, it's countries regulating it, countries banning it. War is a huge thing. There's just so many other factors. You can't just go by technical analysis, but it is good.
I mean, what would happen if the Fed created their own crypto and just said, no, this is it. That's their policy. Bitcoin's done. You're not allowed to use Bitcoin anymore. Like, could they do that?
I mean, I suppose they could do anything.
That's what I mean. That's some scary stuff, man.
For sure. I mean, at the end of the day, the governments do have the power to do anything.
They can do whatever they want.
I feel like if the American government were to do something like that, it would probably, not work out for them in the long run because other countries would see that as a weakness. Okay, they're not adopting crypto. Well, how about if everyone else adopts crypto? Because, everyone's coming for America's head at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
So if other countries see America saying, no, we're doing our own thing, Bitcoin, USDC, USDT, not allowed here. Everyone's like, okay, this is a weakness. How about we all adopt it and America's left out?
Yeah.
And the same thing goes for China, and all the other countries. I think long term, if you're banning this and not adopting it at all, it's probably not going to work out well for you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So on the flip side of things, in the past 24 hours, we've seen Instagram now allows NFT sales.
Right.
We have Google created a blockchain division. Google's a pretty big company.
Yep.
El Salvador is going to offer BTC-backed loans. Twitter's rolling out NFT verifications. Charles Schwab, another big name, is going to open crypto. And the mayor of New York is going to get paid in Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Right.
So there's a lot, again, going back to our adoption theory and how the industry keeps growing. I'm really not too panicked about this.
No.
Short term, whatever, it sucks, but
it's short term. And, as you just said, if you look at the other news, other than the FUD, what is going on in the crypto and the blockchain industry, there is mass adoption happening under your nose.
Yeah.
Everyone is getting into it. Every single big company is getting into crypto, blockchain, NFTs. It's all happening. So you see the prices going one way and adoption going the other way. That's usually, an opportunity. It's similar to in the stock market when a company puts out an amazing earnings report and the price tanks. Long-term investors see that as a buy the dip opportunity.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing one thing, but the price isn't reflecting it.
Exactly.
Well, eventually the price will reflect it.
Yeah.
So when we're seeing crypto prices go red and red and red, but the world keeps adopting it more and more and more, and these platforms like Ethereum and Solana are being used more with every passing day. Mm-hmm. And Bitcoin is being integrated into the Cash App, Square.
Yeah.
The Lightning Network is now available on the Cash App, and the Cash App is massive, one of the biggest payment networks in the United States. The adoption is happening, but somehow, someone behind the scenes, and obviously a lot of this stuff is real, the Russia-Ukraine situation, inflation. But these whales, they want to keep buying more at the lowest price possible. So they want to get that information to you and make everyone panic so you sell to them. Mm-hmm. I think there was one of those Glassnode charts that shows the whale wallets and how they've been accumulating over the past couple of weeks. And it just goes to show you, the people that have owned the Bitcoin the longest, they know what's happening. They've been steadily buying more Bitcoin at these levels, and they're comfortable doing it, and so am I.
Yeah, I've been doing the same thing. I mean, I did make a little post in the Discord today. I was cautiously optimistic. The month is not over yet.
Yep.
I still think we can.
100K, end of the month.
Yeah, in case you missed it, that's what I was calling for. Can you imagine? That'd be shot. It teaches you a lot. Like, these moments in time do teach you a lesson, because right now, if you don't have any capital on the side, you probably have some serious FOMO right now. When I say FOMO, I mean, you wish you had the opportunity to have some cash on the side to buy a dip like this.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And I've been a lot more, the more we talk, more cognizant of taking profits whenever I have them. There's certain projects that are long-term holds. I love my Hedera. I love my Polkadot. There's a few other, Phantom I've been accumulating a lot more of lately. I see these as long-term holds. So I'm happy to dollar cost average into those. But there's a few more speculative, that they're going to be doing some marketing. There's some other things behind the scenes that I'm happy to throw some money into this. And if I get a quick 30%, 40%, I'm taking my profits out. You know what I mean? And then stacking it into a stable coin and just waiting for times like this to either buy the dip, wait for the next flip, or add to one of your core positions.
Absolutely. So, when we're talking about what's going in the market right now and what are we doing, as you just said, this is a good time, we think, to dollar cost average into your top positions. So I'm looking at CoinMarketCap right now, and you just don't really get these types of opportunities typically in the stock market where, rock solid projects dip so significantly over a short period of time. So Ethereum down 8% today, down 13% in the last week. BNB down 9% today, down 12% in the last week. Solana 8% today, 16% in the last week. I could just go on and on. Polkadot is down 20% in the last week. Yeah. Avalanche down 16%. These are industry leaders in crypto. And if you really do believe in crypto, Chainlink is down 23% in the last week.
Yeah, that's
so. These are the opportunities that crypto can give people. Super volatile. The dips bounce. The dips go low, but the dips can bounce back really quickly.
They can, just as fast as they go down, just as fast as they can go up.
Yeah, massive green dong can appear at any time.
It's great. I love it. Yeah, that's when next time I'm out at lunch, I want to see a green dong.
Yeah, seriously. So, there is a large camp that's saying this is the start of the bear market. All the research that I've done and my personal feeling and just reading the tea leaves, seeing adoption in the world, I do not agree. The bull market hasn't gone on long enough. We haven't seen the parabolic stage. Adoption is insane right now. I just full-heartedly don't agree. Barring some cataclysmic world event, I think we've got another year of the bull market, 6 to 12 months. So I'm treating these opportunities as just buy the dip. So you look at those top projects, some of the ones I mentioned.
Chainlink.
The
one project that links everything together.
Every single crypto project uses Chainlink, and yet it's just crashing.
Down 23%.
Come on. If you're in the Discord, the projects we love. We post about them all the time, and these are the projects that I am consistently buying when I see Bitcoin wick down to 39K.
Yeah, nearly touched 38K here while we're talking.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm just going to buy some more. But look, where's the market at right now? It's obviously not in good shape. I think we're going to look back on January 2022 as a great opportunity to build up your positions. I still think Bitcoin is going to go to 100K this year. I just see massive adoption. There's so many catalysts for Bitcoin moving forward, which we're going to talk about in another episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I mean,
what's the safest thing you could do right now? How would you play it? I mean, look to get into a seed sale somewhere, try to get maybe some play to earn games, or is that burning out? You know what I mean? What do you think?
I think I'm dollar cost averaging into my top positions. Small, large cap altcoins that I talk about all the time. I'm buying those. I am heavily investing in pre-sales. So through launch pads like DAOmaker, it seems like the best way to make money in these kind of market conditions. We've seen the returns that their pre-sales give. If you're lucky enough to get into one, it can go 5x, 10x, 50x, 100x. There was a 200x one last month.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's an opportunity, a potential thing that you could be doing in a scenario like this.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
As opposed to just buying, as good as I still do feel buying, something like Phantom or Chainlink or Harmony and watching it continue to go down, knowing that it's going to be more valuable in the future, you could take that same money and get into pre-sales, because if you are lucky enough to get in, it is a much higher likelihood of a significant return.
Yeah. And it's a continuous return too, right?
Yeah. Over a period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, look for launch pads like DAOmaker in times like this. It's a good way to hedge your bets.
Right.
As opposed to just, trying to keep feeding the red candles.
What would you tell? So, your position's unique. My position is unique. What would you tell somebody who maybe bought Bitcoin at 55, 60, some odd K, or any one of these altcoins that, spiked 3-4 months ago, and this is their first time in crypto?
Yeah.
What would you think or tell them at this stage?
I would remind them, and I think it's good that you brought that up, because I think a lot of people get very short-term focused, especially in crypto. Investing is a long-term game. So you invest, you should invest in a project knowing that it has a long roadmap of becoming more valuable and seeing growth and increasing in value.
Right.
So just try to put the blinders on and not look at the short-term volatility. If you bought Bitcoin at 50K, in theory, you should be happier to buy it at 35K, knowing and being confident that the reason you bought it is because you think it's going to be worth 100K plus in the future. So I think I would just preach a long-term mindset to people that are freaking out.
Yeah.
It's something that I struggled with in my early days as an investor. I just didn't see the long-term. We've talked about this before, you see, passing up on investing in Facebook when it was at like 100 and we just didn't see the long-term value there. Or, I sold, I think at the start of the pandemic, I held the Zoom stock and it went up a little bit and I just didn't see it going to where it was. I didn't see the long-term in things.
Yeah.
So I would just say, look, I would preach long-term investment mindset over short-term get in and get out. And, people always ask us, what's the best thing I can put $100 into that's a guaranteed 10X in the next month? And it's just, I hate to see those questions because it's just the wrong mentality to have in crypto, in stocks, in investing, and in life.
Yeah.
Everything that's good takes time.
Yeah.
Everything that's worth it takes time. So just chill.
I think I saw a really interesting chart the other day. I'm going to get the exact figures wrong, but it was something along the lines of on Google's trajectory to, where it is now, it experienced 15, 10% drops, 12, 20 some odd percent drops, 8, 30% drops, 4, 50% drops. I think it was like 60 or 80% drop. It was a big one. But look at where it is today.
That's right.
And it's having that conviction. You talk about getting burned on, a stock, for example, Moderna. The pandemic was hit. I was like, went up a little bit, 7%, and then it went down. I was like, okay, yeah, maybe the pandemic's over. Like, we got these vaccines, sell the news. Boom, it goes up like another 800% or something since then.
Yeah, we missed that. We missed out on that one as well.
But that was because I didn't fully, like commit.
It's to conviction.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't have the conviction when I bought that. It was more like trying to just time it with the virus and all that. So I have conviction in blockchain technology. I have conviction in hashgraph technology. I have conviction in the crypto market as a whole. So I'm not really too fussed at the moment. And also because we have been through these dips before.
Yeah.
I've personally watched my Ethereum go from $300, 5x to 1,500 and go all the way back down to 300 again.
Yep, for sure.
And freaking held that thing for like 2 or 3 years afterwards. You know what I mean? So
through the bear market.
Have the conviction.
That's right. I think, we're lucky that we're so plugged into the industry. We're talking about this every day. We're researching projects every day, which helps with our conviction.
Yeah.
But not everyone has, is lucky enough to be able to do that or has the time to do that. So yeah, it's about having conviction in your investment, and that goes between stocks or crypto. Long-term conviction in the company that you're investing in. Crypto, at the end of the day, it's a software. Kevin O'Leary had a good thing on the Pomp podcast the other day. He said, crypto is a software. You're investing in a software platform, just like Google or, anything like that. So Zoom, look at the team, look at the software, have conviction in the technology. And this is early days for crypto. This is just the beginning. Just like you mentioned, Google, it brought up something I saw. It's Amazon's chart from their first 3 years. Very volatile.
Oh, man. Early
stage company, nothing proven. They're just selling books. They're trying to expand. They're raising money. They're in debt. They're like, this company's going to fail. It's all over the place. And then finally it's flattened out and now it's at 3,000.
Yeah. It went from like $10 to $90, all the way back down to like $8.
Yeah.
Imagine.
You just got to have conviction. If you have done enough research and you're convinced that something like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana is going to be here for a long time, then it's so hard to do, but you just need to chill in these drops.
Yeah. And maybe don't overextend yourself and have everything that you own, in one of these projects.
Yeah. Like stuff that you're using for your daily expenses should probably not be in crypto.
Yes. I think that's a good takeaway there.
As tempting as it is sometimes.
It's like, why don't we just go all in? when you do the perfect trade and it goes up 50%, you're like, damn it, I should just put everything I own into this.
Why didn't I mortgage this podcast, Mike? Well, anyway, I think obviously volatile times, a lot of negative in the news, a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of doubt. I think we're going to look back on this time as a potential buy. I think it could go lower, but check back in July and December of this year and see what 39,000 Bitcoin looks like.
I'm ignoring the FUD.
Yeah.
Get the FUD out of here.
Just block it out. Block it out.
Yeah.
Continue investing into the projects that we love. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Well, I think that about wraps it up for today.
Yeah, make sure you tune into the next episode.
That one's going to be a banger.